Good evening. I'd like to call the work session on July 24th, 2023 at 5:45 p.m. to transit passenger van, Department of Public Works. Director Lee, you have the floor.
Thank you, President Smith, Mayor Moore, and council members. The Department of Public Works is requesting approval for the purchase of a 2020 Ford Transit passenger van, which will be assigned to Parks and Recreation for their recreation and program transportation. This vehicle will replace equipment that has exceeded its lifespan. The department solicited several quotes from vendors through state and county contracts, as well as the open market for this specialized high roof transit van. Due to the lack of availability, only one dealer submitted a quote and has the vehicle that meets our requirements in stock. The accepted quote is from Academy Ford of Laurel, Maryland, in the amount of $49,935. Based on the fleet schedule, the following vehicle will be replaced with the new acquisition, vehicle number 759, which is a 2010 passenger van. Funding for the purchase of this vehicle is provided in the adopted FY 2024 CIP Fleet Replacement Program. It is recommended that the purchase of this vehicle be approved in the amount of $49,935 to Academy Ford of Laurel, Maryland. Thank you, and I'm available for any other questions.
Are there any questions or comments from the council? All right, if everyone agrees, this will be on the meeting tonight at our Mayor and City Council meeting at 6 p.m. Next on the agenda are updates for ordinance number 2015 and ordinance amending the general operating budget and capital improvement program for the Mayor and City Council of Laurel, Maryland for the fiscal year July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2023, and to provide an effective date. Director Saylor, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the council, and Mayor Mo. Since we last met on July 10th, the Department of Budget and Personnel Services has been extremely busy, as I told you we would. I have to stop and give a shout out to the staff for moving really hard, pushing hard, and getting things entered so that we could get to this point. Since we last met, I have an additional $500,000 in local income tax than what we budgeted. So we're appropriating that. There's another $309,615 of additional highway user revenue that will be dedicated specifically to street projects in the CIP. I've updated the change to the ARPA. As you'll recall, I discussed that this deduction is simply just to bring the budget equal to the actual expenditures of FY23, and we'll move forward in FY 2024. So there were some additional expenditures that have been made since the July 10th meeting. So those are the changes on the revenue side. On the expenditure side, we're taking some savings from the mayor's budget and using that for an additional transfer to the pension fund. We've got a deduction to the IT budget, but because of savings in the IT budget, we're going to transfer that $150,000 to the CIP for information technology and radio, the citywide radio system. There was already an entry made for the budget for the municipal center, but that had to be increased due to utilities and further maintenance issues with the HVAC system. We're taking $10,973 from the community center as part of that additional funding for the municipal center. So we had savings at the community center. We're moving to the municipal center. We needed about $1,000 due to utilities at the Laurel Museum. Some of these other transfers were made possible by the savings at the 204 Fort Meade Road. As you'll recall, we made an operating budget in 2023 for the new facility which is under construction at this point, so we didn't use those funds. We needed additional funds in waste collection, again, because of the increase in the disposal fees and other staffing issues with the change out of the bins. Savings were transferred also from highways and street maintenance to that waste collection. That's where the negative 45,000 is coming in. Further down, the other change is that there'll be a total of an additional contribution to the pension fund of $325,000. On the next page of the notes, so there'll be a transfer of $735,503 to the CIP, and this will include the $150,000 from the information technology budget, the $309 from additional highway user revenue will go into street projects. You'll recall when you adopted the 2024 budget and CIP, there's funding for the non-destructive pavement evaluation. So once Mr. Lee gets those answers as far as what streets must be done, we'll have that additional funding. We had the insurance funds that will transfer for future fleet acquisitions. And then an additional, based on savings from these other accounts, we will have an additional $250,000 to transfer to the CIP for fleet purchases. So overall, that brings our change in the operating budget to $9,563,158. And that's an overall decrease because, again, of the change to the ARPA budget, which we will, is still ongoing. By the end of FY 2024, we will have either expended or encumbered the remaining funds. The additional changes to the CIP were $935,503. And again, those additions were to the fleet replacement schedule, information technology, the radio system, and street projects. And that's all I have, Mr. President.
All right, thank you so much for that update, Director Saylor. Well, with that being said, there's no further business to come before us.
Question, Mr. President, before you close out.
Sure, Councilman Saylor.
Thank you. And Director Saylor, I just want to go back to your first item. You said that $500,000 local income tax.
Yes.
Is that budget, is that just general money going back to the general funds? I know it's not going back to general funds, but where's that money going to? I didn't catch that part.
So we increased that, and part of that is going to the additional contribution to the pension fund.
Okay.
And so $250 to the retirement fund and $250 to the CIP for fleet purchases, vehicle purchases.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate
Yes,
it.
thank you.
All right.
And thank
Any
you
other
again.
questions?
I just wanted to say thank you again to everyone's flexibility in allowing this to happen. So
Needs to be done. It's okay. Any other questions or comments from the council? Councilman Mitchell is in here with me, is having the technology issues with his laptop. So any questions from anyone? All right. With that being said, I'll close this meeting and I'll see you guys at the 6 p.m. meeting.